Hello, my name's Melanie. Welcome to this little video course on stress management and relaxation. Right, well, we all get stressed, be they little or big stresses. Sometimes little stresses can just niggle away at us, or it might be something bigger than that. It might be something we're not looking forward to, which is filling us with apprehension, and we get stressed. Or it could even be a happy event, which is what I call happy stress, something you're looking forward to, but it has a knock-on effect and makes you a bit anxious. But this video course is all about how we can manage our stress, so that we don't become overwhelmed by them, and that it doesn't bring about poor mental health or well-being. So we are all different, so stress is individual to each one of us. What's stressful for one person wouldn't be for somebody else. So the key to managing stress is to get to know ourselves and finding out what works for us, and it's getting the balance right between doing too much and doing too little. We've got to find the happy medium of what is right for us. If I'm just looking aside a little bit, it's because I'm reading me notes. So what are the symptoms of stress? We can have like physical symptoms, or we can have mental symptoms. The smaller physical symptoms are that we could get headaches. I personally know that when I'm doing too much, I start getting headaches. I start feeling achy, and I think it's nature's way of telling me I need to step back a little bit. I need to slow down. That's my indicator that I'm doing too much. Step back, slow down. So that could be one indicator for stress. We might get muscle strain, we might get aches and pains in other areas. And if stress is left untreated, it could lead on to more chronic conditions like heart attacks or strokes. So it's always important to try and realise what can we do to kind of like minimise our stress or manage it better, so that these things don't occur, because nobody would want us to reach that stage of like a heart attack or a stroke, or even the smaller symptoms aren't very nice to deal with. And then there's like the mental side of stress, that we can become quite anxious, we can become depressed, we can have panic attacks, and at its worst we can like have a total meltdown or a breakdown, because it's like it's too much, and we need to know how to deal with that, so we don't end up feeling really low or really anxious. So what is the remedy? What is the remedy to dealing with stress, so we don't have these awful symptoms ranging from low to high? Well, it's really quite simple. I think the key to managing stress is to find ways to relax, that in relaxation we somehow find ourselves better able to deal with the stresses that come along our way. So there are like punctures for relaxation and reducing stress levels, which I'm going to mention shortly. And I think it's as well to realise that we need to have time for ourselves, that time for me isn't selfish. We often feel guilty, we often feel that we shouldn't be taking that time out for ourselves, but it's necessary and vital if we are to find our well-being and function well. And it also enables us to give out to other people more effectively, if we look after ourselves as well first. And we need to take that time because we do matter, and we are always giving out to other people, and we need sometimes to take that time just for ourselves, just to do something we like, to feed ourselves, because we are important and we need to feed ourselves, and then we're more able to give out to other people. So that is something I'm quite strong about, taking that time in whatever way suits us, because as I've just said, we're all different, and it's getting the balance and getting what we need to help us. So then, the tips for relaxation and reducing stress, I've grouped them into different areas. The first bit is, and this is really quite important I think, learning relaxation techniques. The common threads that run through relaxation techniques are that they are calm, they improve the breathing, they relax the mind, relax the muscles, and they clear the mind. So just in general, just a little bit about relaxation techniques. It's breathing techniques as well, and it's like learning to breathe correctly from the abdomen, because if we breathe from our chest, it's like shallow breathing, and that can make us more tense, and it can make us more anxious. If we're breathing from here, it's like a nervous breath, but if we can learn to breathe from the abdomen, then that has a better effect and a more soothing effect. Meditation is always helpful, and mindfulness, which is about being in the present moment, learning to live in the present moment, and that is a good way of dealing with stress as well. So we're not always looking ahead, we're not always looking either back or forward, but we're taking that time to really take in the present moment and what's around us. Visualization, create a visualization, when you can like picture like a soothing flower, or a peaceful scene, or a nice relaxing colour in your mind, and that can be either imaginary, like a scene like a waterfall. It could be a scene that you just think of in your mind, or it could be something that you've actually been to see, you know, like a nice park with flowers, or the seaside, and you can bring that back into your everyday focus in that or in your mind. And I do think that brings real stress levels down a bit, by just taking that time just to picture that scene or that lovely colour. So another way of dealing with stress, tips for relaxation, is to look after your body. Have a relaxing massage, or a foot bath, a pampering bath with a favourite bath cream or an aromatherapy oil, or having a delicious meal. It's like indulging your senses, via taste, sight, sound, the different senses, indulge them and get the most out of that. Healthy eating, become more aware of nutritious eating. Exercise, gentle exercise. Some people like yoga, tai chi, pilates. Other people like dancing, such as Zumba or Fit Steps. I like to do my dancing. That really lifts me out of myself, and it's a great stress reliever. It releases the endorphins in my brain and makes me feel a bit happier and a bit more content. Being close to nature, which we've just mentioned with the visualization. Go for a walk in a park by the sea. Do some gardening if that's what you like to do. Smell a flower, take in the aroma. Being close to nature can relieve stress and make us feel one and at peace. So it's worth doing for that alone, I think. Get creative, do something you enjoy. Dancing, gardening, craft activities, colouring. But it's got to be something that you enjoy. Otherwise it doesn't have the same effect. It's got to be something that you like doing. So some of these tips may be quite helpful. I hope so. Others might not be for you. So that's fine. But add to the list. Put on things which you like doing. What do you like to do? Or perhaps you can take up a new interest or an old interest. Make the time for you, because as I've just said, that is an important part of relaxation. So it's highly recommended that everyone feeling the effects of stress practice at least one relaxation technique every day. Sometimes when we've got busy lives, if we've got a lot on or we've got a lot on in our home situation, you cannot maybe always keep that up for the whole day. But if you can just take like 5 little minutes to yourself, just to have some time for you and just to practice some relaxation technique each day, I really do feel that makes a difference. It certainly has made a difference to my life. And it can be as simple as taking a 5-minute break for breathing and stretching exercises. The breathing you can tie in with visualization, which we've mentioned. And it can be taking part in longer periods of meditation or massage if you can book yourself a slot, so you know for that time you're going to have your nice meditation or your nice massage. If that's for you, you know it might not be, but these are just pointers to help you towards finding relaxation and therefore managing stress. And it's also important for us to take breaks during our day, as this increases our ability to reason, solve problems and be creative. Many people who do not have the time to take a lunch break find that their afternoon work suffers because they haven't taken that time and to feed themselves physically, to nourish their bodies as well. The afternoon becomes more stressed and more tense. And it's also a good idea to take a computer break. we all you get so locked into checking your emails or being on Facebook that sometimes your eyes start to strain, or sometimes your shoulders start to ache. And at that point, really, it's good if you can just take 5 minutes aside, go and have a little walk around the room, and then come back. But of course, that isn't always, we don't always want to do that because we're so engrossed in what we're doing. But if we can just, even if it's just taking your eye off the screen for a little bit and just having a look around the room, taking on board some of your nice objects or ornaments or photos, just to have that little time just to see other things and then come back to what you're doing. So sleep. Sleep is another thing where it's which is often affected when we become stressed. We might find it difficult getting off to sleep, or we might wake early in the morning and then find we can't get back to sleep. But protecting the quality of our sleep is crucial to our health and happiness. I think sometimes if you're not able to sleep properly, try and get quality sleep for a little while, even if it's just like for those few hours, have quality time, and that can be helped by reducing caffeine intake, especially after 5 or 6 o'clock, or try decaf coffee in the evening. Reduce alcohol consumption, take regular exercises, use relaxation techniques during the day and also when you're in bed. Like mini meditations are quite useful, like picturing a little like picture or a little flower or just something to help you. Trying to treat the bedroom as a sanctuary, not a place of work. So if you have your computer on, maybe switch off by about 8 o'clock, or take it into another room if you can do that, because the bedroom should be a peaceful place, a sanctuary to enable you to help you get sleep. And also have a wind down ritual, such as having a warm milky drink before you go to bed, as long as it's not coffee, or having a bath with aromatherapy oils. So these are like the techniques which can help you to manage our stress. But just to pause for a moment, I'm just going to talk about the 4 stages of the stress cycle. 1, it's your thoughts. Your thoughts, especially negative ones, can cause stress. Emotions. Negative emotions result from negative thoughts. And a thought can also trigger an emotion. 3, chemical reactions. A thought sends impulses to the adrenal glands, which release a number of different chemicals to the body. So if you're having stressful thoughts, those sort of chemicals will be released into the body, and that results in number 4, physical symptoms. These range from mild to strong, like we talked about earlier, and they're greater when the emotion is intense. So by looking at this cycle, I think it's important to deal with stage 1, the thought processes and the way you think about life. Your mindset can make a lot of difference. This is where the beginnings of stress can start. Now, even when a person can't change their situation, they can be helped to change their attitude to it. And that's in reframing. You can reframe your thoughts. You might need help to do that, but you can reframe your thoughts to look at it as something in a different way. And also future perspective, to think, will it still matter in a year's time? Can we remember what we were worrying about a year ago, unless it was a really big event? You can't always remember what you were worrying about a year ago. So by looking at it in that way, future perspective, will it really matter in a year's time? That can sort of bring us down a little bit. I don't mean depress, but bring the thoughts down, to looking at it in a different way, as well as reframing, seeing things from a different perspective. Your stress might not be completely eliminated, but it can be managed. We all deserve better lives. So once we believe this, the necessary steps towards leading a happier existence can be taken. So that is the end of the little course on stress management and relaxation. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found some words of help or hope from them, and I wish you all the best in your journey. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.